won't be able to see you right away. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of WDD Live. It is my favorite place to be on a Tuesday morning. Jump in the chat and say hi. I've got Hans and Donata, who I'm going to bring on in just a moment from Termageddon. We got Curtis in the house. Larry, Calisthenics Ireland is here. Lizzie, good to see you. Jason. We've got Alistair from the UK, Bath, UK. Nice. Gray and dull here. The weather, not the city. Okay. Yeah, we're about to get a winter storm here in Atlanta. It's going to be another one, our second one. So we'll see. We'll see how exciting it gets. Mark Zemansky in the house. Let's get this policy party started. Yes, sir. Hey, if you are a Termageddon user, let's just figure out what's going on in the audience real quick. If you're a Termageddon user, drop a comment and let me know. Abhishek says video quality is OP. It's good to know. Put a lot of effort into the lighting lately. Minus 12 degrees here in Wisconsin from Jason. I know there's a little bit of a delay. If you are a Termageddon user, okay, Jason says Termageddon user, drop this in the comments. Want to know, or if you're not, say I'm not a Termageddon user. I just want to get like a little ratio going. All right, Termageddon user, Termagang for life, Termageddon user, awesome support. Robert's a Termageddon user. I love it. I love it. So for those of you who are not, you're going to hear today why this is a super important thing. If you're a freelancer, if you're an agency owner, why this can really, really, really help you. And I think it's great to, anytime you can hear from the founders, the creators of something, it's just, it's a great time. John says he's not. I think John's the first one that says not. Oh, Amar says not. Okay, fantastic. So I was hoping that there would be some people who are not. This is going to be a great conversation for you. Really, really, really recommend you guys use this service. You're going to see why. Let me go ahead and bring on, and we had a little technical issue with like some echo. So Hans and Donata, welcome to the show, and let's see if we hear any echo.
Hi, thank you so much for having us.
I'm not hearing an echo.
Oh, good. All right, we're off to a good start. Okay, now if you guys in the chat let us know, are you guys hearing things clearly? You know, we don't normally do. We will be in 2025, but in the past we haven't done a lot of guest stuff. Dunzi says no echo. Mark says sounds great. Okay, good. So This is an experiment for the rest of 2025. All right, I'm going to let you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves to everybody.
Sure. So, hi, everybody. My name is Donata Strang-Skilberd. I'm the president and one of the co-founders of Termageddon. I'm also the legal engineer behind the system, meaning that I come up with all the policy questions, policy text, and also update the policies as well. I'm an attorney licensed in Illinois and a certified information privacy professional. I'm also the chair of the American Bar Association's e-privacy committee, a member of the Cybersecurity Legal Task Force, and I'm actually the new ABA representative to the United Nations too.
So yeah, Donata's killing it. I'm just like the house husband.
That's a banging intro right there. Yeah, go ahead.
I am Donata's house husband. So my name is Hans. I'm one of the other owners of Termageddon, and I'm a former agency owner. So I ran a 12-person web design and development company out of downtown Chicago. That's where I lost all my hair. And I sold that business to go full-time Termageddon. At the time, I was copying and pasting privacy policies for my clients whenever they would ask me to. Didn't feel right, never felt right. Turns out I wasn't the only one. As far as I understand, it's like kind of the industry standard for many, many years. But our theory was like privacy is going to become a bigger deal, and it has. It's become more regulated. People's data is getting protected more and more. So I think Termageddon has been hopefully a shining light to a lot of web designers out there as a solution to educate clients about these regulations, help clients have the opportunity to protect themselves while making a new recurring revenue stream as well.
Yeah, I think that's a super important point to bring up, like how people are managing privacy stuff by default, right? Like we're kind of in between because the customer, the client doesn't really know if you say, hey, where are your privacy policies? Where are these policies you need for your web? And they're like, well, what are you talking about? Like they see them, I think, in the footer of other websites, but they've never thought about them themselves. They haven't had them produced by a legal team or anything like that. So the agency is always like, do you have any policies? And they're like, no, I don't have any policies. And, well, we can't just make your policies. And that's where the copy pasting stuff happens. It's like, let me go Google a privacy policy. And then I'll just copy and paste that in. So Termageddon actually exists to fill that need very easily by taking somebody in the legal field, and you've created a way for people to generate policies, but much more intelligently and much more, comprehensively and accurately to what the actual legal standards are. And you can feel confident in that. And then what do you guys recommend that people monetize this for their agency? Do you just pass the costs along, or do you recommend that they actually charge extra over what your service costs?
Yeah, so as an agency partner, you have two options. So the first step is check out the agency partners page. We give you a free license for your own website. We do that in the hopes you fall in love with our product. We only want you recommending us if you actually like what you've just gone through getting set up for your own website policy. So now there's no barrier for agencies trying us out. Like, try it out for free for your own website. And if you do like what you see, you have two options. One is our affiliate program, where you give your clients the custom promo code we make for you. Clients pay us directly, the $119 a year, and then we pay you recurring commissions for the lifetime of that referral. And I am starting to get the echo.
And it's coming back now. Yeah, it's weird that it just comes out of nowhere.
If anyone wants to comment and let us know if you too are receiving an echo, that'd be great, because I'll leave and then join back in.
Yeah, something happened with it froze you guys in the middle. Let's see. Yeah, okay. It's going to take 10 or 15 seconds for the chat to respond, whether they hear the echo or not. I hear you guys good.
Should we leave?
Yeah, you could try to do that real quick.
Okay. So sorry, guys. We'll be right back.
Do you guys hear the echo? Or it's Calisthenics Ireland says echo, then the next person is like no echo. Graham said echo and some buffering. Yeah, echo and some buffering. I saw the buffering.
All right, now we're back.
Okay.
And I didn't hear the echo.
It's hilarious because my audience, like, two people are like echo, and the next two people are like no echo.
Okay.
It's like, so it's fantastic.
So part one, clients pay us directly using your promo code. They get 10% off their first payment. We pay you, the agency, recurring commissions for the lifetime of that referral. The other route is, as an agency partner, since we manually approve you to the program, we're able to actually get you set up so that you can purchase licenses at wholesale rates. So instead of $119 per year, you're buying them one at a time at $42 per year. So we'd recommend you do charge the full retail price, the $119 a year. And we also recommend charging a setup fee too, whether that's $100, $200, $300. That's up to you, but you should get paid for your time. I've lost enough hair to be able to earn that statement. Get paid for your time and get some upfront revenue in addition to the recurring revenue. So there's two ways to make recurring revenue with Termageddon. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you do the affiliate route, the client is essentially managing their own policies at that point, right?
Both routes exist where the client can manage their own policies. So when you're reselling, when you're buying from us, I highly recommend sharing the license with the client. That ensures that we can email them directly when new laws go into effect, when and why we're updating their policies and so forth. And if you're sitting there and be like, well, my client's never going to log in, that's on them. But giving them the ability to access it and make changes is something we absolutely recommend, because that removes yourself from feeling like you're responsible for communicating law updates in the future. So I highly recommend using the users tab of each license to share access with the client. That ensures we can communicate with them directly.
But this is also, if I think, when we did it, when we were doing agency stuff, we made it part of our management fee. So it was like, what we do is we just bundle that in. It's part of the website management. And then when you guys email and you're like, hey, policies need to be updated, we go in, we run that by the client, obviously. Hey, this is updated. We're going to update your policies. Is that okay? And what we found is, like, they're super thankful because, like you said, so many of them are just never going to log in, and then policies are out of date and yada, yada, yada. Plus, I always feel like even if you communicate to a client like, hey, you got to keep these updated, and they don't, and then something happened, they're going to come back to you and be like, why weren't you updating my and it's like it's a weird situation to be in. So I just felt like, man, let's just make it part of the management fee and let's do it for them, and we know it's done, and then that's in their best interest also, it feels like.
Yeah, implementing it into the maintenance plans, that's the main reason why I want to get going with Termageddon. I was just thinking of ways to add value to my ongoing hosting and maintenance plan. So absolutely wonderful approach. I still think sharing access is important. Even if we know they aren't going to access it, it's still critical. But then making that update and then communicating whenever you make that update to ensure that they are fully aware, so that they can always come back and be like, oh, wait, no, I actually do make 25 million a year in revenue or more, like which may be a surprise for some clients. But it does happen. So ensuring that they're fully aware of those updates, I think, is just the missing piece that I think sounds like you were doing excellent at. And that's exactly how I would do it if I was taking more of a hands-on role.
Cool. So I know that, I've got clients all over the world. Their first thing that they're going to ask is like, what about my area? Like, how do you manage the laws in my area and keep all that stuff up to date? And then just a logistics kind of question, like, how do you, how does your team, or if it's just Donata, like how do you make sure that you're abreast of all of the things that are going on that you need to account for with these policies?
Sure. So I think my area is a really big misconception that business owners have. So, when you're forming a business, let's say you form it in Illinois in the United States, or you form it in Florida, you form it in Canada, you're kind of ingrained into this idea that I need to pay attention to the laws of my area, which is true. You do need to pay attention to that. But privacy is a little bit different. So privacy laws are passed to protect individuals that reside in particular states or countries. So they don't really care so much about where your business is located. So what matters there is, where you're doing business, where you're offering goods or services, whose personal information you're collecting online, who you're tracking online, where your customers are located. So those are really the main questions that you should be asking. Like, let's say I have an e-commerce business and I'm selling books and I ship books all over the US, Canada, EU, UK. I need to be paying attention to the laws of those areas too, not just where I'm located. Now, what makes Termageddon different from other policy generators is that the first step is we figure out which privacy laws apply to you, because that's what dictates what policies you need to have, what your policies need to say, what updates are applied. So that's the first step that we take always, is figuring out which laws apply to you. And then in terms of updating policies, it all hinges on tracking these new bills. So there's dozens and dozens of bills being proposed every day, especially in the US, but we've seen other countries like Canada and UK proposing updates to their existing laws. So it's a matter of tracking all of those throughout the entire legislative cycle. And we have some fun, expensive tools that do that. And then seeing what passes and seeing who it applies to, and seeing what privacy policy disclosure changes they want, or what should be included in privacy policies if those laws apply to you. So it can be a lengthy process, anywhere from this bill was introduced to this bill makes no sense. We need to ask the legislators what it actually means.
Donata is not afraid to get on calls with anyone who's written privacy laws. She's actually become friends with the person who wrote Canada's privacy law, Pipeda, and Australia. You always have nice things to say about Australia.
Yeah, they're extremely helpful, a lot more helpful than they are here in the US. But usually in other countries, you reach out and you're like, hey, this sentence in this law makes zero sense whatsoever. I read it like 10 times. I researched it. I looked at the legislative notes. This makes no sense. And they're like, oh yeah, this is what this means. And you're like, okay, thanks. And you end up kind of forming friendships along the way.
So there's really like 3 stages to our oversight. So one is, yes, we license some very expensive software, which monitors and keeps track of everything. Of course, Donata's overseeing all of that. The second thing is the fact that Donata's a part of the American Bar Association E-Privacy Committee. In fact, she chairs it, which is a 500 privacy attorney group where they're all talking about changes. And then the third one is that we have a law firm partner program. So we have law firms that actually leverage our technology to help create policies for their own clients, thus and keep costs down for their own clients. And that's kind of always a backdoor proof too, just to make sure our work product is accurate and reflects what attorneys want to see, attorney grade, policies that we generate.
Is there any, it could even just be a small detail, but I know people are going to wonder this in the back of their mind. Like I think an agency might say, well, it's safest if I just tell my client, hire a local attorney and let them handle it and manage it for you, because whatever online service you choose, it's not as good as a local attorney. It's not airtight or something like that. It's too maybe generic or cookie cutter or whatever. What would your response be to that? Is there really any difference?
I think for our position, being a generator and not a legal service provider, we always have to take a knee to attorneys. Like if you're going to hire an attorney to draft your policies, monitor laws, keep you up to date over time, of course, go that route. Nothing beats having an attorney provide legal services. That's something Termageddon does not do. I would be very cautious with who you interview for the attorney position. Like talk to multiple privacy attorneys. And I'll tell you out the gate what they should be doing. They should be doing two things. Number one, transparently communicating the estimated pricing. They should be able to communicate that upfront, not have you just sitting there for months working with them, not knowing what you're going to be billed. Ask that upfront. Number two, ask them, what is your process to go about getting privacy policies created? The very first thing that should come out of their mouth is, well, we need to find out what laws apply to you first, because that dictates all the disclosures you're required to make. Far too often we find attorneys that are licensed in a particular state that cover a particular privacy law, but they have no idea about Nevada Revised Statute Chapter 603A, or the fact that 8 new laws went into effect in January 2025. So when working with a privacy attorney, you just got to select the right one. And so that would be my recommendation. I'm biased in my opinion, and I felt differently 6 years ago than I do today, but I'm starting to believe that I don't understand how anything other than a generator can handle a combination of over a dozen privacy laws and creating disclosures based on what actually applies to you. But again, I'm biased in my opinion. So.
Personally, I would recommend working with a privacy attorney. So somebody who is a certified information privacy professional. Some people may be tempted to go to a business lawyer. That can be dicey because business is a huge umbrella and privacy is not necessarily under that umbrella. It's a field where a lot of things change, so it's hard to keep up with those changes. So if you are going to go to attorney, I'd recommend speaking specifically to a privacy attorney about this.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That was a great answer, and Hans, you're rattling off stuff like your policies. I mean, you're not just a pretty face, Hans. You know what you're talking about here.
Once I lost all the hair, I realized I better start learning.
I whispered to him when he's asleep.
Nice.
And hope it catches.
Excellent. So you mentioned privacy policies a lot, but what Termageddon does more than that, right? What all does Termageddon offer people when they join?
Sure. So we also offer terms of service, disclaimers, ULAs, and cookie policies as well.
And a cookie consent solution.
And a cookie consent solution too. What's interesting about our terms of service is that we incorporate consumer protection laws in there. So if you are a business in the UK, Canada, or Australia, there are pretty stringent consumer protection laws that you have to follow for like offering refunds or charging cancellation fees and things like that. So we do incorporate those as well as incorporating things from like automated subscription laws in the US, things that some of our competitors don't do, which just makes the policies a lot more comprehensive and a lot more fit for the area where you're doing business.
What's really nice about that is like if you're a UK business and you're going through our questionnaire, our e-commerce questions for your terms, if you start to select things like, I don't want to offer refunds, it like notifies you like, you can do that, but just so you know, you're not in compliance with the UK consumer protection laws. So like giving customers the ability to make those updates, they're welcome to, but also warning them about potential conflicts they may have with the jurisdiction they're under. That's something that I believe we still stand as the only company doing. So.
Nice. Yeah. Somebody asked, what is the difference between, and guys, we will get to your questions for sure. Just make sure you have hashtag Q so that I can search for them and find them easily. Just put #Q, then your question. But one person did ask, they apparently have been looking at compliance as an option. You know, are there any differences you want to get into between, Termageddon and something like compliance?
So I think compliance does an excellent job with their consent solution. They come out of the EU, so they've kept GDPR intact. Compliance. So we've taken a very different approach in terms of, in my opinion, being agency friendly. As I understand compliance, it's something you manage all within your WordPress dashboard. We like to have our own dashboard at Termageddon so that customers can access their dashboard for their policies, but not go in anywhere into the back end of the website. I've had one too many clients access the back end of their website, break everything, and then I have to rebuild everything.
Yeah.
So
I was just changing my policy. I don't know what happened. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, I just don't want to field customer tickets that are like that, like I broke the website by trying to update my privacy policy. So we keep that all separate in the Termageddon dashboard. And that's what allows us to work on all platforms, not just WordPress. WordPress is how Termageddon.com is built. That's how I built my own agency. So I'm obsessed. But anyways, compliance and all other generators that I'm aware of do not start by figuring out what laws apply. I believe compliance asks, like, where do you get traffic from? And it's like
not a factor.
That's not a factor at all. Like, and so like when they say, oh, I get traffic from the United States, they add in like California's CPRA. Well, CPRA only applies if you're a for-profit entity that does business in California that generates 25 million or more in revenue, or processes data of 100,000 more California consumers, households, or devices, or derive 50% or more of your revenue from selling or sharing the personal information of California consumers. So I don't like the idea of subscribing customers to laws they've never had to comply with. I do not believe in that. And that's something we take passionately. Find the laws that apply to you, make the disclosures required, move on in life. And that's something we're firm believers in. And so I think that's what separates us from the compliances of the world, and the other policy generators out there.
And also making updates prior to the effective date of the law. So the effective date of the law is when the law goes into effect. That's when it can be enforced. You want to update your stuff before that date. Most of our competitors will either not make updates at all, or make updates like months later after the law has been in effect. And we update, at least a month or a couple of weeks before that date, so that our clients don't have any gaps in compliance as well.
Walk people through, if they're interested in signing up and getting going with this, like what is the process like of creating policies? How long does it take? If they're going to offer this as a service for their clients, just walk them through the experience of Termageddon.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm talking as like, I'm a web designer. I build websites and I make money. That's how I make my living. You'd go to termageddon.com. Do not click the register button. Click the agency partners page. That will bring you to an application form. So apply to become a partner. Give us like a day. We actually have a real human, not an AI, a real person. His name is
Ricky.
Yeah, he's going to review your website. Just make sure that you offer web design services, and then send you a personal welcome email. And then so you apply, and then you just sit back, wait to get the official welcome email. It's like a world is ending comic book where you're the hero, you're the astronaut trying to save your clients from incoming privacy laws. Anyways, we try to bring you through 3 objectives. Objective 1, set up your own policies for your own website. Like, we don't want you recommending us unless you actually take the time to set it up for your own website. All policies and the consent solution. And then if you like what you see, you've completed objective 1, you head into objective 2, which is learning about our affiliate and reseller programs. Affiliate clients pay us directly. I wanted to ask, when you go through setting up your own policies, that's going to give you insight right away into, hey, could I see myself offering this to clients? Or like, oh, that took way too long. I never want to do anything like that ever again. I'm just going to refer customers to Termageddon. So the setup kind of depends on how many laws apply, but I'd say the typical agency has to comply with about 8 laws, 9 laws, 10 laws, where they may need to take like 35, 40 minutes to get fully set up.
You got the echo back. Yeah. I heard it actually start. Yeah. Go ahead. Just jump out and come back in.
I'll leave. I'll come right back. Yep. Bye, everyone. See you in like 10 seconds.
We'll have a nice little, We'll have another 10 minutes on the clock. It'll reset before the echo comes. It's crazy. I've never had it be intermittent. Okay, he's back.
Okay,
They're back. Okay.
All right. So after you've completed objective one, where you set up your own policy, should take about 35 minutes for a typical agency owner. Then you choose which program do you want to use, the reseller or the affiliate, or both. You can use reseller for some, you can use affiliate for others. I jokingly have a running joke with a handful of partners where they only refer us the clients they don't like. So all day long we have to book calls with these customers and walk them through the setup, the negative ones, but we can handle them. The pro to the reseller program, if you tend to build with a similar tech stack, you can duplicate existing licenses, and that can help expedite the setup process significantly. So that's a huge benefit to the reseller program. Being able to duplicate existing licenses tends to work really well if you tend to use like a similar tech stack, like a certain type of contact form plugin with like Google Analytics and MailChimp or whatever the combination is. The affiliate program, the pro to that, you make less recurring profit, but we offer a complimentary onboarding where all you do is connect us in an email, onboardings@termageddon.com. We book a call with the customer, walk them through absolutely everything, share the codes with your partner account so that you can grab the codes and paste them into the website. So one's a really hands-off route where we just pay you. You never pay us a dime. And then one's a really hands-on route, but you make more recurring profit from it.
Nice.
And you can do both for different clients.
Yep. And then the third objective is like a special offer. If you like take advantage of it, you get like some free swag from our swag shop. So
one thing I like, because you have the embed codes, what that means essentially for people managing a bunch of different clients is I can go into the Termageddon dashboard, do a bunch of update. I don't have to go log into every single one of those sites. Like the updates just get pushed, and so that just is tremendously efficient over having to log into every individual client's site to update stuff.
Agreed. Yeah. And like whether you're doing the affiliate program or the reseller program as a partner, licenses can be shared with you, or you can share licenses with your clients. So that way, as a partner, you can just you log in and boom, there's all your licenses that you have access to make updates.
Yep. And let's say you have 100 licenses and we pushed updates for 8 new privacy laws and all your clients are small businesses. We can offer like bulk updates as well. We can bulk update everybody at the same time.
And then we provide a little pre-written email to send to clients. So
nice. All right, let's go to Zach goes back. All right, well, we're gonna go to questions anyway. So yeah, come right back. All right, we're going to questions now. If you have any, we only have about 5 more minutes in this segment before we move on. So you need to get your questions in now. There you go. Yeah, you're back. Okay. So get your questions in now. This is going to be the last call for questions, and we'll go through it. We're going to start with Vania. What about the European monster GDPR?
Yeah, so I guess number one, before we start in questions, I did want to note we're not providing legal advice with these answers. So yes, Termageddon, we do cover GDPR. So if you're offering goods or services to residents of the EU or you're tracking their behavior online, you select yes to those questions. And then the follow-up questions will include GDPR questions like the legal basis for processing personal information. And then once you answer those questions, your privacy policy will have GDPR disclosures.
Also, just to echo a little bit more information there, when the UK left the EU, I believe we were the only company to take into account the UK Data Protection Act, which is basically a mirror copy of GDPR, but that's the moment a fork in the road started. And we have predictions where the EU is going to be adding more protections and the UK is going to be reducing protections. Mm-hmm. So it's important that, a company stays on top of that. Also, just for everyone, our policies are English only. So right now we're only compatible for businesses formed in the United States, Canada, Ireland, UK, and Australia. So for that EU question, if you're located in a country outside of that, technically our tool can be used right now, but I would wait. Our new app is right around the corner where we're going to be releasing multi-language support and releasing compatibility throughout the EU this year.
Excellent. This may have been answered, but we'll just, for clarification, is Termageddon available to businesses based within the EU, specifically those located in the Baltic states?
Oh, we have the same name.
Yes, there you go.
Awesome.
Look at that.
Labas.
I'm from Lithuania as well. And unfortunately right now, no, it's not available within the EU or the Baltic states. Minus Ireland. But that is something that we're going to launch with our new app. So after we launch the redesign of the application, we're going to launch in the EU. And then also offer translations, including Lithuanian as well.
Yeah, Lithuanian has to be in there because
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Nice. Excellent. Do you still offer a client walkthrough if we provide you with their email address when signing up? And if so, do you have a team that does this?
Yeah, so we have a team. In fact, the team doubled. We just put 2 more people in place. Doubled sounds so much better than 2 more people, but
Yeah.
but our team has grown this year, which is great. So they're going through training. Our complimentary onboarding services is taking off like wildfire. And who would have guessed people want a helping hand while being walked through a comprehensive generator. So yeah, for the affiliate program where clients pay us directly, we book a call with them, walk them through any question they have, get their policies generated, share the license with your partner account, and send over a recap email.
That's awesome. Awesome. Please explain the Termageddon user metrics WordPress plugin. I forgot what it does.
So I think he means user centrics.
Yep.
Our plugin currently helps take the user centrics cookie consent code and insert it into the top of the header. We created a plugin just to like make people's lives easier who aren't comfortable with inserting code into the header. But since then, there's become a couple benefits. Number one, if you use Divi, you have to use the plugin because of some Divi Facebook pixel thing. I'm not going to get into, but long story short, it resolves a conflict. But also the geolocation feature. So a lot of people don't want to display the cookie consent pop-up or display it to as few people as possible. Our plugin has a feature where you can set it up to only display the cookie banner to the people that actually need to see it. So like people in California, where there's a lot of lawsuits coming out. If you want me to expand further, I'm more than happy to. But California visitors, Canada visitors, UK visitors, and EU visitors only. So like me in Illinois, I'm not going to see the cookie pop up. So if you have clients in a particular state where they don't even require a cookie pop up, that's an extremely popular feature and a good reason to consider using the plugin.
California definitely. I love how I have to answer 80 questions about California specifically and we have one right here. Do you account for California Invasion of Privacy Act and HIPAA?
Wow. So
Yeah.
this is the first time we've gotten someone to actually come to us with the question, SIPA, the California Invasion of Privacy Act. No one seems to be talking about it except us.
And John.
And
John.
Nice word, John. So
bonus
yes,
points, John. Look at this. Bonus points.
So we do cover SIPA. SIPA, for everyone else, is a 30-year-old privacy law that was never intended for the internet. It was intended to protect Californians from third-party phone eavesdropping, which seems fair. Like they created a law that says, hey, if you're on a phone call with someone, you can't have like some third party listening. Totally fair. Like I'm not fighting against that. What's unfortunate though is some opportunistic lawyers are now seeing that, well, third-party communication is also embedded on a website. Live chat tools, Facebook Pixel, any third-party technology you have embedded into a website technically could be listening or monitoring website visitors, and a bunch of opportunistic attorneys are suing website owners. I've talked to military veterans who sell little like patches to other military veterans getting sued 30 grand.
Oof.
Last week, I spoke to a agency who services churches saying that the church group that she's a part of is they're all just getting hit off with lawsuit demand letters for $50K each. And it's boils my blood. It just boils my blood. But long story short, we cover SIPA. I believe we still stand as the only generator that has been able to cover SIPA and California's other conflicting privacy laws, CPRA. We created a consent that can handle both of those literally conflicting privacy laws. And then as for HIPAA, we do not cover HIPAA. So if a website's collecting protected health information, we would not be a good fit. Could they still use our tool and then use the override feature to customize and make any HIPAA disclosures? Yes. Also, I just want to note, if you're collecting protected health information, it typically is a third-party patient portal that collects it, not the main educational website. So oftentimes I hear people saying, oh, we need HIPAA, when in reality, no, they don't, not for their website, because they have the protected health information being captured outside of the website. HIPAA is expensive. So
cool. Love it. I'm going to combine these last 3 into one because they're all the same, just for different areas. Is Termageddon available for Swedish-based companies, and then New Zealand, and then Latin America?
No, to all 3.
Yeah,
So right now we're not available in those areas. But again, with the new launch of the new app, we're going to be adding in other areas as well. So the next areas to add, I believe, are EU, South Africa, and New Zealand.
Yep.
Okay.
And then from there, we'll be expanding further. Now, if you are in those areas, you're more than welcome to still register as an agency partner. That just gives us the ability to notify you the moment we become available. So unlike our competitors, we took a different approach where we only want to offer our solution to people we know we can service 100%. That's why we don't say we're available for everyone. We have ethics, but
Yeah.
but yeah, that's why we approached it this way. So we
Excellent.
apologize for the delay.
Well,
Though.
NMG says big vote for Sweden. They really want it in Sweden. So, but
I mean, my name is Hans. I gotta get launched in Sweden.
Yeah. So I'm sure you get these all the time. Dahunzi now is don't forget Nigeria. So yeah. But yes, this has been fantastic, guys. Thank you for coming on. I want you to just tell everybody where they can find you, where they can follow you. Go ahead.
Sure.
Awesome. Thanks, Kevin.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us here. Really fun time. You can find us online at Termageddon. So Termageddon.com is our website, or on our social media. And then if you go to our website and click agency partners at the top, that's where you're going to see that agency partner application form.
And all of our
I'm going to bring up your site right here. So Termageddon.com, just so everybody can see it. But yeah, keep going. Go ahead.
And yeah, our social media links are in our footer.
Yep.
Excellent. All right, and I've got links in the description below. If you're in the inner circle, I've got links in the inner circle everywhere. I've been promoting Termageddon for a very long time. All of our policies, automatic CSS, frames, digital gravy, everything is on Termageddon. All of our clients are on Termageddon. So really, really helpful, guys. And everybody in the inner circle knows I talk about the business side of this stuff. I talk about management plans. I talk about doing this stuff for your clients, adding the value, being seen as a consultant. These are things they don't know about. Most clients do not know about this stuff. It is a huge value add, and you don't have to be an expert in it. These are the experts right here. These are the experts. They're handling it for you. They've created a system where you can just implement this stuff, check the box, and make sure that your clients are covered. So Hans, Donata, thank you so much for coming on, and we will probably have you guys back in the future. All right?
I love it. Thank you so much.
Having us.
All right. Have a good day.
Bye.
All right, guys, let's go into segment number 2. Let's see. And I know there were a couple questions that came in a little bit late, but here's the thing. They are really open. They're really awesome people. All you have to do is just hit them up. Hit them up on Twitter. Hit them up by email, whatever. They will respond to you personally. They will answer all of your questions. It's kind of like, when I promote WS Form, half of that reason, I mean, obviously it's a great tool, but half of that reason is Mark, right? So reaching out to Mark, anything you need, like you're taken care of, man, like in a way that is, there's no comparison to these other tools that are available out there. The way Mark's going to take care of you, the way Hans and Donata are going to take care of you. I invest heavily in people, right? Yes, the tool, it's important that the tool is awesome, but the people need to be awesome as well. And I can vouch for them. I've met them in real life. This is look, when I tell you you just gotta listen. You just gotta listen. Like when I tell you WS Form, you just gotta listen. And unfortunately, some people, they don't listen. And they come back 2 years later and they say, Kevin, I should have listened to you 2 years ago. I should have listened to you, right? Some people like to do it the hard way. It's okay. Just listen the first time and it'll all work out. Okay, let's go into segment number 2, which is going to be, and before I screen share, I'm gonna pull this up in my email. Are we still good? Everybody can still hear me, still see me? I'm out of the questions queue now, so I'm back into normal chat. I'm gonna pull up our website critique that we're gonna be able to do today. Whitespace.agency. Who submitted this, by the way? Let me look at the name here. This is from Rob Pierce, okay? We're going to do whitespace.agency. I just want to make sure we're still good. We're still broadcasting. Jump into the chat. Let me know. I lost one of my eCam windows at some point along the way. So I'm down one eCam window. But I think we're still good. I'm just waiting on somebody to drop in the chat and confirm. And I'll screen share while we do this so you guys can see. New comments down below. All good. Okay, perfect. All right, so if this is your first time at WDD Live, I'm just going to explain real quick what we do with these critique requests. We try to go as in-depth as possible. We're not just looking at the design. We are looking at everything that makes a website successful. We might even look at the underlying code at some point. We're going to look at copy. We're going to look at UX. We're going to look at the offer. We're going to literally everything that makes a website successful. That's what we are looking at. So it's very educational. A lot of people have learned a lot of stuff that you can, and you'll notice there's patterns. We hit on the same things on a lot of different websites when it comes to problems and common issues. You can learn a lot in this series to take back to your client work. So, I'm not gonna make that mistake. I've seen 18 websites on WDD Live make this mistake. I'm not gonna make that mistake. This is real information that will make you a better developer, a better agency owner, a better freelancer, a better consultant. Okay, we've talked about being a consultant and not a pixel pusher. This is the learning the consultancy side of all of this, okay? So here is whitespace.agency. Justin says, show us your DOM. Exactly. Okay. Whitespace.agency. No scroll test is always how we start. You're not allowed to scroll around. The idea is, can I know where I'm at, know who this is for, know what's going on without scrolling around? So the only information I have without scrolling is the logo, Whitespace. I have the navigation, which I assume this is a navigation, and then I have a start your project, and then I have a very nice family/team photo. But I don't have a headline. I don't have any other copy to go on. I would say that this is probably an area that needs to be improved. Let's go ahead and click on that and just see what happens. Okay, we got a nice fancy menu. Very fancy menu. Home, our work, services, who we are, and contact. Immediately when I see fanciness like this, I do ask myself, is this accessible? Oh dear. Okay, hang on. We're up here. I'm just going to hit tab on my keyboard. Okay, I can tab to it. I can trigger it. I can tab to these items right here. Oh, what's down there? That's a news. There seems to be a link there that I can't actually see. We would have to look at the DOM to do that. I don't know what that's doing. Where are we now? Okay, here's a problem that I think that this should be fixed, okay? This is not accessible. It fails accessibility check because if you look at the bottom left down there, you can see I'm still tabbing and I'm now navigating through other things on the site that I cannot see, okay? So the way that this should work in order to fix this is it's called focus trapping. You have to trap focus. Whenever you open a modal like this, you have to trap the focus of the keyboard so that essentially you create an infinite loop inside of the modal, with the close icon being the final thing in the loop. And then it just starts back over again. So I should go tab from home, our work, services, who we are, contact, back to the X, and then back to home. And then, so until I actually trigger the close, it should not let me focus on any other elements outside of this modal. So focus trapping has not been put in here. That's a major thing that needs to happen in order for this menu to be accessible. But it is a nice, fanciful menu, okay? That is a big thing that needs to be improved, though. Let's go ahead and close this. I don't know that, other than Whitespace.agency, we obviously know it's an agency, but is it a design agency? Is it a development agency? Is it an app agency? Is it what kind of agency? We don't know. We are forced to scroll in order to know where we're at and who this is for. So I am going to start scrolling, but I want to see that improved. I need something above the fold that indicates these things because people like to know they're in the right place. All right. You're asking for the benefit of the doubt. You're asking for extra time and attention in order to say, hey, by the way, we're going to keep this a secret until you start scrolling around. Well, a lot of users, I don't know what percentage, it's going to be a different percentage for every single website, but a lot of percentage users, they just don't have that kind of time. They're just going to be like, I don't know what's going on here. I'm out. I'll just go somewhere else. Okay. So you want to reduce that as much as possible. We are the full service creative marketing and web agency you've been looking for. We're Whitespace. We continue to deliver real results for our clients by taking a personal interest in what they do and showing the world what makes each one special. If you like the sound of that, we'd love to talk. Okay. If you have you're following the patterns of WDD Live, and many patterns exist within copy alone, right? Squinting Yeti says, preparing for a hammering on the Dom. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. What WTH are they clones? Agency for what photography? It looks like a fan. Yeah. There's a little bit of confusion on the above the fold thing. I didn't even look at the people. They must be family, right? They must be family. It seems like they're family. Okay, so the main pattern that let's just do a pop quiz. What am I about to say? Does anybody know what I'm about? If you're a longtime WDD Live about this copy right here, do you know what I'm about to say? I'm going to give you a minute. Just put that in. We'll keep going for a second. We'll come back to it. We'll just see if anybody has cued in. I want to see if the patterns start to become obvious to everyone, right? Standout work for your outstanding clients. Hold on. Standout work for outstanding clients. Okay. Good. All right. I like the movement in the cards. This is a new kind of a different kind of approach to cards where we're not just using images, we're using video, little clips. Okay. It brings these cards to life. I like the general card design is good. By the way, the general design of everything that we're looking at is very clean. It's very professional. The spacing is all great. There's a lot to like here. There's a lot. So when I harp on little things, it's for improvement. It's so we can make what we're seeing even better than it already is. I like the colors. I like everything that's going on. But there are some things I want to point out with regard to the copy. I do like this section a lot. It's essentially the portfolio section. This is all good. All filler, no meat. You hate mouse traps. Okay, so these are answering the pop quiz question. You hate mouse trap. I don't know what a mouse trap is. There it is. Justin nailed it right here. We, us, us. We. It's called me focused copy or we focused copy, right? If you notice, you can pick up on it just by the literal words are there. We're, okay? And then down here, hello, we're, right? We continue. Okay, we'd love to talk. So this is me focused copy, and typically, the rule is you-focused copy works better than me-focused copy. So if we turn this around and it's just you can literally say the same thing. You're just rephrasing it from a different perspective, okay? So we continue to deliver real results for our clients by taking a personal interest in what they do. So you can turn this around in terms of talking about how, and I don't know how you might want to juxtapose this with how agencies typically, the thing is here, a lot of agencies, by the way, are also going to say this thing. So there's not a real juxtaposition that we're actually hitting on here. I would think that, any good agency takes a personal interest in what their clients are doing, right? And they want to show the world what makes each client special. I think they would all say that. So there's another kind of rule that's blending in here, which is if you're kind of saying what every other competitor would say, you're really not saying anything that impactful. And so not only do we have to switch from me-focused copy here, we actually need to just find a different angle. Okay, I would say find a different angle. It's feel good, it's cozy, it's warm. Oh man, they just take an interest in what we do, and I just love that. But really, that's what any good agency would do. So it's not a differentiation as much as you hope that it is. I would try to find a more compelling angle for the copy. Now, this headline is fine. So this is an example, and I'm about to do the first copywriting lesson that I'm going to do in the inner circle is on headlines, okay? This headline is fine. It's a vague headline. This headline begs for a lead paragraph. It has to have a lead paragraph to go with it. The lead paragraph is what is going to have the meat, okay? This is the introduction, essentially. We're the full service creative marketing. It's a way to tell people what you are and what you do, but it doesn't give them any value beyond that, which is why it has to be paired with a really compelling lead paragraph. So the heading is fine. It's the lead paragraph where we fall off because there's no meat in the lead paragraph. This just has appetizer, and it's just like the most common appetizer you would order at a restaurant. This is nothing really special. So we got to rewrite this lead paragraph. You can keep the heading, rewrite the lead paragraph with a different, more compelling angle about why they really need to pay attention right now. Okay, that's really what the goal is here. Why do they need to scroll? Why do they need to consider this agency? Why do they need to pay attention? What do you do different? Okay, now let's go down. Standout work for outstanding clients. This is good. Right here, we're not going to dive into the portfolio yet. We scroll down a little bit more. We see social proof. This is very impressive social proof, by the way. Now, it says brands we've helped. So, when I see like KFC, when I see Pepsi, when I see, Subway, Volvo, these are major brands. Major brands. I am now, I'm intrigued. So this is good to have. Honda. This is good to have. But I'm a little brands we've helped. Now, it's not brands we've it's the headline doesn't suggest like brands we've done everything for, online, like their entire website. Because here's the thing. Here's what I know about agencies and freelancers. Now, maybe this isn't the case. We need some clarification here. They will, for example, be hired for like one little sliver of some project, okay, for like Volvo. And now suddenly Volvo's logo is on this person's website. It's like, I worked for Volvo, worked with Volvo, whatever. But they're not really disclosing, like, what did you actually do? How much of the project were you actually involved in? And so that's kind of, I'll just say, if you're going to put these kind of logos on that people are going to they're going to wonder this, And we don't want to insinuate that like we did Volvo's entire website if we just did one sliver of one aspect of Volvo's website or something. You know what I'm saying? So maybe a little bit of clarification would help there. All right, our services. Making sure you shout the loudest. Making sure you shout the loudest. Okay. Just digesting. I like to digest a little copy here as we go. So strategy, brand strategy, marketing strategy, website strategy, market research, performance, SEO. Okay. A lot of stuff here. A lot of stuff. Sustainable WordPress hosting. That's an interesting way to introduce that. I don't even know what that means, honestly. We'll go there in a minute. Measurement and analytics, digital marketing. Okay, brand asset designs. They do a lot of graphic design, video and photography involved. This is truly, they said full service creative market. Okay, so this is full service. They're obviously supplying all this stuff. This is good. Okay. Organic social media, man. You guys do a lot. Let's talk strategy. So we're at a CTA here, a call to action. We tailor everything specific. Here you go again, though, right? You see this, you start to hit on this over and over and over. You want to eliminate this as much as possible. It gets, not only is it less effective, it gets very repetitive. And it's, people in general, they want to hear about themselves. They don't want to hear about you, right? We tailor everything specifically to your business needs and goals. If you fancy talking things through with us first, we're happy to do so. There's zero pressure, absolutely no. So it's very casual copy, which is good in this regard. I'm a big fan of casual copy. Arrange a free chat. I like how this is not typical CTA language. There would be like book a discovery call, claim your strategy, that kind of stuff. Arrange a free chat. Again, feels very nonchalant. Very casual. And this is good. You don't want to, the last thing that you want to do is you don't want to seem desperate. You don't want to seem too corporate-y. You don't want to seem, you just say, if you want to chat, we can chat. You don't want to chat, we don't have to chat. That kind of like, it lowers the defense mechanisms of the client. Okay. So I'm a big fan of the casual copy approach. Hello, we're. See this? This is, we're drowning right now. We are drowning in wheeze. We're drowning in, we got a little bit of a problem in that area down here. Okay. A little bit of looks like some broken image. I don't know what's going on down here, but we've got some dark text. And yeah, check that out. Something's going on there, Whitespace. I like the name, by the way. I like the name of the agency. The naming is really good. The logo is really good. You got the white space in the Whitespace logo. Like that's all. This is very well put together. Okay. The main gripes I think I'm going to have are really just with some improvements that we can do to the copywriting. This caught my eye. I don't even know what this is. Sustainable WordPress hosting. Okay. Private UK WordPress hosting that's scalable. This is interesting now because this is the first time I'm hearing about the UK. And now I'm starting to wonder, like, but I mean, you did Volva, all these, I'm a little confused. I don't know now if this is UK specific. Like, if I'm in the US now, I'm starting to feel like, am I in the right place? I don't really know. There's a little bit confusion being introduced here. Okay. Private UK WordPress hosting that's scalable, reliable, secure, and fair to you and the planet. Okay. Free consultation call. I'm not sure about the logo here. We're kind of, we lose the logo for some reason just as we scroll into that section. That's odd. Okay. Check that out as well. Standout hosting relies on strong infrastructure, UK-based 100% green energy. Okay. I don't know. Seems very technical stuff. I don't know. Most clients are going to care about that. Green VPS hosting. Okay. I mean, if they're wanting to be green, obviously that they would be interested in this stuff. Little bit of it's a ninja headline. It fucking disappears on you. 100% green WordPress hosting. We obsess over hosting to ensure the best for our clients while protecting our planet. And then it swaps into a testimonial. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Everybody else can drop their comments in the chat. I'm not sure how I feel about that transition. Okay, let's go down. Okay. Yep. So it's essentially green. It's a green focused hosting opportunity, but I guess only for people in the UK. Oh, there's those logos we were missing on the homepage. Why are we missing them on the homepage? I guess it was a fluke. It's not. It just something happened. Something weird happened. Okay. Seems to be okay now. Okay, but I see now I'm on this UK thing. I'm really confused about the UK thing. Do you work with anybody? The minute I saw UK and I'm not from the UK, I'm now very confused. Where are you from? I don't know where this is. I assume that's the UK. Okay, registered. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where this is. I don't know. I don't even feel like I can Google that. We can Google this word. Holy smokes. Yeah, England. Okay. All right. Whew. We got to the bottom of that. Didn't we? Okay. Let's go to, I mean, it's a robust website, my friends. I mean, there's a lot going on. I wonder what the architecture here is. Well, hold on. I can't click on this. Yeah, I can. Okay. It worked. It's a little bit of a delay. Well-planned website strategy. Okay, so I'm guessing there's a services CPT. These are posts of the services CPT. That's how this should be set up. Yeah. Okay. I mean, we're not going to be able to go through this entire thing, but what I'm looking for is patterns again. One is did they use the same template for all this to make this easier on themselves? It appears that they did. So they got this same hero. Yes, they did. Okay. So they got the steps. They got more services that are related. I wonder if they use bidirectional relationships for this. I don't know if the person is, what was his name? Rob? Is Rob here? Maybe he can answer some of these questions for us. How is the architecture of this site set up? There's that transition again. Yeah, this is the same template. So they created a template for all of their services pages and just filled in the content, probably all done with custom fields, dynamic data, if I had to guess, on the back end. Got the FAQs. FAQs is probably a custom post type. These are posts in the custom post type. They're bidirectionally related to the specific service. They might be taxonomizing this. I don't know. That's why it would be good to have Rob here to answer these kinds of questions. You would never want to do this stuff static. You would never want to manage this like page by page by page. This would be an absolute nightmare. Okay. Legal pages in the footer don't work for me. Let's check it out. Oh, you know what? They're pound signs. Yeah. So they're not set up yet. So those need to be, maybe that was forgotten. Need to get you some Termageddon, Whitespace. Get you some Termageddon. Those things will be up in no time. Okay. see we have these opportunities. I mean, this shows you. Any thoughts on the duplicate humans in the hero image? Okay. All right. I see what you guys are saying. Let me get my pro mouse on. Those are the same person. Yeah? I think you're right. It's a little, hold on. Oh, wait a minute. We got another one. We really need Rob. Wait a minute. Hold on. That's with different glasses though, right? This man is a duplicate of this man. Hold on, Rob. Whoa, we need to get him on the line, bro. What's happening? Hold on. I don't know what's happening right now. I'm a little miffed. Let's get those circles off the screen. This is a little awkward. Animations triggered a little too late on my screen. They disappear before I get to read them properly. On the About Us page, there are the photos. Let's go to the About Us page. Man, well, I mean, that's something that'll get people talking, right? I mean, that's definitely something that'll get people talking. Who we are. Let's get there. Same photo. Okay, there's Paul. There's Rob. All right. Hey, Rob. All right. We got Rob, Jasmine, Ellie. Okay. So yeah, it's a little sketch, right? It's a little sketchy way to do it. Is the goal to make the team seem bigger than they actually are? We need an explanation on this. I mean, it's a great photo. But we do have a little bit of a duplication problem. We have a little bit of a duplication problem. We get so many comments about the image at the top. Honestly, a great talking point. So I guess is Squinting Yeti Rob? Okay. Long time WDD participant here. Okay, this is a Bricks ACSS frames. Okay, good. All right. Yeah. So, man, let's just ask the question. It's a little ironic joke, as often people say we're too small. Okay. Yeah, so I could see using it as a talking point, as an inside joke, like it's a inside baseball kind of thing. People that notice it, Now I would be a little bit concerned maybe on like, what about the people that notice it, who feel it's sketchy and who dip out, versus like taking it as a joke or interpreting it? Because once somebody pointed it out, I just thought people were saying that it was a family and they looked similar. It took me a little bit to catch on. It's because I don't. See, here's the thing with like manipulated photos, because I'm a photographer, right? And I don't manipulate photos like that. I don't Photoshop like that, right? So my brain, when it sees photography, does not look for inconsistencies. It does not. I can do this in Photoshop. My brain doesn't look for this to, like, was that done? Some people immediately go to seeing like discrepancies in photo. Like my brain doesn't do. I just assume I take every photo at face value. Okay, like in the world of AI, I am going to be the most easily tricked person by photography, because my brain just assumes every photo is authentic. Like I don't know why. So I didn't even pick up on the duplication, but I am wondering. Do people that pick up on it, do they just leave because they're like, this is fake? Like this can't be real? Is there a downside to this? The Yeti has been unmasked. Yes. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Okay. Yeah, so is this, my next question will be, help us out here. Is this for the UK only? Do you guys serve people in the UK only? Or do you serve people from ever? Because you have a UK phone number. This is not. So now and the question is, if it is UK focused, shouldn't we be putting that in the copy? We're the full service UK based creative marketing and web design. Like, shouldn't we tell that to people right off the bat when they arrive, kind of thing? And by the way, we got about 2 minutes left in this. We've got to move on to the next segment. I'm doing my absolute best to be disciplined to our time slots, to our segments, and to the 90-minute time. I saw it pretty quick and thought it was humorous. It's sad that AI makes things like this easier. We literally shot this on the beach manually. 90% UK based, but we do have overseas clients. Agree, read the copy. Okay, good. Okay, well, let's sum this up. If we're just going to do our summary here. I really like the design. I really like the colors. I really like a lot of the stuff that's going on here. Spacing is fantastic. There's no really design rules being broken. There's some transitions that we could all argue about. The menu has to be fixed in terms of accessibility. We need to trap focus inside of this menu. All of the stuff is very clear. It's very clear what you offer. All of the pages that are supposed to be there are there. The architecture is done really well with the CPTs and the post, the custom fields, the looping that you're doing. Seems like you're using relationships properly. All the social proof is there that's needed. We didn't dive into the portfolio side of things. We could do a quick run through on this. And again, the templates that you guys are creating to make your work more efficient. All of this is done really, really well. I think that the biggest areas of improvement are getting rid of all of the, I would literally sit down with your team and say, how are we going to rewrite our copy on our website? It can all say the same stuff. Well, with two caveats. One is it has to be written from a you perspective, you focused copy. We have to switch from me focused copy to you focused copy. And the second thing I would say is how are we going to differentiate a little bit better? I don't think that this differentiation of we take a personal interest in what our clients do and we show the world what makes each client special. I think that's just sound good, feel good bullshit. As I've said in the past, I think you need to come up with a, why you guys really, why not this stuff. Okay, let's get rid of that stuff, the feel good stuff. Really, when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, why you versus somebody else? We have to be able to answer that with a compelling answer, and then you need to insert that compelling answer right here in this lead paragraph, okay? That would be a dramatic improvement. Get rid of all the we focus copy, find an actual way to juxtapose with value. And this is all going to get much better. That's going to seal the deal because your design is good, your layouts are good, everything else is good. It's going to seal the deal if you can take the copy up a couple levels, okay? All right, that's going to be the end of that. We're going to put this one in the books. Let's go ahead and get to our next segment, our final segment. So I'm going to go to ZipWP here. I'm working on something for you guys that are in the inner circle. I might sell this outside of the inner circle. We'll see. But I need a different way to package it up. And it's really for, right now, it's going to be for Bricks users as well. There may be a way to package it up for non-Bricks users, but I just want to show you guys. And this is actually for something we're developing as well, which I'll be revealing soon. But we're going to go to eGuide right here. And I'll go to the back end to show you how this is set up. And this actually promoted a big rant on Twitter about WordPress, about the CMS, the neglected CMS side of all of this that I think we need to harp on a little bit. We need to hit on here. So if you come to WDD Live for rants, this is at some point going to inspire a rant. All right. But I'll show you what I'm working on. It's a free guide. And when I say free guide, it's a free guide that you offer as a free guide. So if you're an agency, if you're a freelancer and you're like, I need a lead magnet, I need something on my website that I can use to build my email list, and I don't know what that should be. Well, this is done for you. This is just plug and play, done for you. And what this does is it builds your email list. It pre-sells the client. It pre-juxtaposes you against other offerings, and it also educates the client on things they should be looking for in the process of hiring an agency or a freelancer, okay? So this hits a lot of things all in one little nice, concise package, but it also has the ability for you to publish any additional e-guides that you want to publish, okay? The era of like delivering PDFs, in my estimation, is gone. It's dead. It's done. We need a new way to do this. And so the template that I've created allows you to come in just like I did with the e-guide I'm giving you for free. I'm giving you all the copy. I'm giving you everything. It's one click, publish, done. Okay. But you can take the templating that was built for this and use it for any other e-guides you want to publish. And you could have a bunch of different options for lead magnets. You could deploy this on client websites and use it for their lead magnets. This is so flexible and so powerful. Okay, so let's take a look at it. We're going to go into guides, which is just a CPT. It's just a custom post type. Okay, and we're using parent-child relationships. I'll show you how this is set up in just a second. But what I'm going to do, and this is not done. I'm giving you a sneak peek. This is not finished. Okay, this is still a work in progress. I'm going to view this parent post right here. It's very wireframey so that you can style it however you want to style it. It's going to be very easy to style and customize. I'm even making it ACSS agnostic. It is going to use ACSS variables, but they're all going to have non-ACSS fallbacks. So if you're not an ACSS user, it will still work. It will still function, okay? So we're even going to, I'm taking it to that extent, right? So here is the title, How to Hire a Web Design Agency and Not Get Burned. Insider's Guide. Hiring a web design agency is a big decision. The good ones can make your business boatloads of money, and the bad ones can cost you big time. There are no certifications, licensing boards, or anything else to help guide you. Just this no-nonsense guide. Don't sign anything until you've read it, okay? So we need to paint the picture of what we're trying to do here. Obviously, the people that come to us and are interested in getting a website done, they're not looking at just us. They're going to be looking at other agencies. And we know there's so many agencies out there not doing things very well, not very professional. Okay, there's a lot of budget agencies out there. There's a lot of AI agencies out of there. There's a lot of rabbit holes that a client could fall down and get trapped in and get lost in and lose a bunch of money in. And we don't want that to happen. And we also, the self-interest side of this, we also want their project. We want their project. So what is the best way to do this? The best way is to present this as, hey, look, you're about to make a big decision, okay? We're going to help you understand how to make this decision. We're gonna give you the insider stuff you need to know, because you're going to go to these agencies are not going to tell you this stuff, okay? And you don't know what to look out for. We're going to tell you what to look out for. We're going to help you make this great decision. And whether that's choosing us or choosing somebody else, we want to inform you. Now, in informing them, what we can do is we can sneak in a bunch of pre-sale stuff. We can frame this a specific way. Now, we're not doing it as manipulation. We're doing it because this is really how things should be done. This is how they should be making the decision. Like, you're going to see when we get to the copy what kind of stuff that we're talking about, and you could see how it actually is selling them on what we do, okay? So they're going to get this to be more informed, but at the same time, they're going to be led down our path, because our path, we've made our path because we think it's the best path for them, right? We think this is how things should be done in the web design industry. These are the standards that things should be done to. So this is, yes, it's informing them, it's giving them a ton of value, but it's also pre-selling them, okay? And so, because when they get on a call with you and they start to hear what you're saying and they start to see your proposal and your process, it's going to align with everything that they've read here, okay? And it's going to just be like, they're going to come to the conclusion, this is the agency I need to work with, okay? They went to the length to inform me, to give me this valuable information, which is very valuable information, okay? But let's talk about how this is all structured. So again, not a PDF, which means, let me tell you the truth about PDFs. You give people PDFs, you know what they do? They opt into it. They might open it. Wife calls, whatever, kid comes into the room, fucking distraction, and then they never open that PDF ever again, right? This is live. Plus, it's very hard for you to update PDFs. Once somebody has a PDF, you can't update it, okay? This is live, living, breathing guide. I can update it anytime I want. People can access it anytime. They can easily share it just by sharing a URL. They can bookmark it, okay? It's a better format, in my estimation. Now, they could come in and they could just go to chapter number 1, the truth about modern web design, okay? So they click on this. Here's the truth about modern. Now, look what they get. I've added this in-page navigation to fixed navigation to go to the next page. We scroll down to the end. We're going to get navigation to the next page. Like, I can click on the phone call here. Now I have the back and the forward, right? These are all automatically generated for you. The links down here, it's all automatically taken care of. This is all just using loops and logic in the loops for what is the parent. Like, notice it has the parent up here at the top. So if you publish a second guide, all of this is going to work just by creating the proper parent-child hierarchy with the content, and the template is just going to flawlessly work for you. Notice it's very scannable, very easily readable, not super long. Each chapter is right, short, to the point, no nonsense, just what you need to know, okay? We get to the proposal stage, okay? We're reading about what the proposal should look like. The website stage, what are the goals of the site, 1 page versus multi-page, 5 pages, da-da-da-da-da. This is stuff that they need to know. How is a project actually scoped out? They don't know anything about any of this stuff. You're educating them. What is the process supposed to look like? Hey, if an agency is quoting you, they're not doing discovery, they're not doing copywriting, they're not doing wireframing. How could they possibly be doing this right? How could they possibly be doing what you actually need them to do to be successful? So you're the agency doing this stuff. They're going to come to a very clear conclusion. Like, oh yeah, you're right. I mean, if they're not doing this, how could they possibly be doing my project to the best of their ability, right? So that's the kind of information that they're gathering from this. Management and marketing side of things, this pre-sells why they need a management plan, why they need a marketing plan. This pre-sells this for you, okay? And not just to sell, it's because they actually need it. This is what they need. And if other agencies aren't offering this stuff and not structuring things this way, they're at a loss, okay? I got to finish this. This goes into detail explaining what are each of these channels. Which ones would fit my business or not fit my business? What should you be looking for, right? And it's telling them in plain terms. Let me just read this paragraph right here. It's not advisable to pay for social media marketing unless the agency you're working with are social media rock stars who are going to produce top-tier social media campaign for you, which would also happen to be very expensive. The only other viable option here is to pay to receive a social media marketing plan and social media training for handling this in-house. Don't entertain relatively cheap social media marketing plans. They're generic and effective. It's just to the point. Here's what you need to know. I'm going to tell you the insider shit so that you don't make bad decisions and you don't lose a bunch of money. But what it's going to do is steer them towards, obviously, what you are. If you are offering the right things in the right way, this is going to steer them right to that, okay? This is not finished yet. I got to keep going on this. Then we get into the price. This breaks down how is the price determined, okay? Let's read just the first little part of this. My internet's hesitating here. I don't know why it's failing to open the next page. The one thing I don't like about Brave is, am I missing something about Brave? You see how it was going and we didn't know it was going? Where's the like loading indicator? Does Brave not have a loading indicator? Am I missing something here? Okay, so anyway, the price. So here, like, look, it just dives right in. Most good web design agencies do not price by the hour. They use a mix of cost-based pricing and value-based pricing, which means a lot of the price is subjective. This is not a bad thing. A good agency deserves to charge more because their skill, process, and consistency all remove huge risks from your project and make the reward larger and more likely to achieve. How much more should they charge? That's up to them and what they're willing to do the work for, and it's up to you and what you're willing to pay. The real question here is, would you rather light $5,000 on fire and then have to start over, or pay $20,000 out of the gate and get a website that grows your business's bottom line? This is the cheap in web design is almost always the most costly option. So you see how this is very just like, it's like, hey, let's just sit down and have a beer. I'm just going to tell you everything you need to know about this fucking industry right here, right? And I'm just going to give you the facts, but what is it also doing? Why am I using 5,000? Why am I using 20,000 as examples? I'm priming them to hear specific numbers. I don't want them thinking 1,500, 20. I'm priming them. Their project may not be $20,000, but I'm priming them with a number, because if they're primed to hear 20 and they hear 10, I mean, they're in. They were primed to hear 20, but now you're saying 10. This is a great outcome for them, right? So just little pieces of copy that just work to a future goal, right? But this is just fantastic. And then here are some additional pricing insights. Don't expect to spend less than $3,500 in the US market, even for a one-page site. There's not enough money there to do each step of the process, much less do it properly, okay? This is all setting them up. It's actually overcoming objections I already know they're going to have. Why are you $7,500? Joe down the street is $3,500. Why? I already solved this. That objection is already conquered, because Joe can't do the work properly for $3,500. Nobody can. So just don't even entertain Joe. It's not even a thing to think about and consider, right? The copy of this guide is just doing all of your overcoming objections, pre-selling. It's doing all of this work for you. Not to mention, you got the lead from it. They opted in for the guide, and you don't even have to get on the phone to start selling them. The guide's already selling them on the direction that they should go, okay? And you have their information from it. So, and then we're going to talk about the next decade, okay? This is all fantastic. So this is plug and play. I'm going to give you the custom post type. I'm going to give you the posts. I'm going to give you the copy. I'm going to give you the custom fields. I'm going to give you the bricks template, okay? So you could just literally plug and play and then set up your email opt-in, likely through WS Form if you're paying attention here. And this is going to be fantastic for you. Now I have to finish it. I have to get it all packaged up. Here's what's pissing me off. Here is what's at, you would think, we're going to enter the rant phase and then we're going to get out of here. You would think that in 2025, software that's been around for 20 plus years, okay, that powers 43% of the internet, would have a way to determine the order of posts. Okay, what are we doing here? I go into guides, right? Let's go. Come on, ZipWP. Let's get it going. Let's get it going. Don't interrupt my rant with loading, okay? We don't need to do that. By the way, can somebody answer? Did we get an answer on Brave? Where's the fucking progress bar in Brave, so I can know it's actually the chipmunks are in the wheel turning things, right? I don't know. I can't find it. All right. So look at this. When you make first of all, okay, can we order posts in WordPress? Yes. Technically, yes. Let me show you. We can go to quick edit and we can do the order field right here. Is it a good way to order? No, it's not a good way to order things. But let's just open a post. Let's just go through this together. Let's open a post. Do you see order right here? Anywhere? The order used to be in this sidebar. Do you see order anywhere? No, it's not there. It's not there. Where is it? Where did they put it? Where did they put order? Let's click on this right here. Open. There's order. Can I see the value of order? No, I can't see the value. I got to click on it and I get this modal. And now I can see the value of order. So technically I can order things, but how are you going to know when I give this to you that I ordered it? And how are you going to know how to reorder it if you need to reorder it or for the next guide that you want to create? Because you can just go add new guide. You could add another one, okay? And you can just make a second guide. How are you going to know how to order that? And then if I want to see the order, where do I go? How do I filter this table by order? How do I see the order? I can't see the order. Or maybe it's under screen options. Date. That's all I got. That's all you get. Date. So you let me order things, but you don't let me see the order. This is the CMS that powers 43% of the internet right here. This is what we're all supposed to be super impressed by. Okay? You give me an order property, but I can't see it. Nobody can see it. Nobody can see it, and you can't order by it. You can't use it in the admin, okay? And then here's the thing. So I was like, I can't do it by order because nobody's going to know. Now I got to create documentation for by the way, you got to go find the hidden order field. Or you know what they told me to do? Because I ranted about this on Twitter, and 25% of the sycophants came in. These fucking NPCs. That's what they are. They're NPCs. They have 3 lines that they're programmed to say. It's open source. That's line number 1. Open a track ticket. That's line number 2. Do it yourself. That's line number 3. These fucking NPCs, that's the only 3 lines they ever have. It's never, you're right. I think a CMS should do that. We need to get on that. We should have done that a long time ago. That's not what they ever say. It's just those 3 lines. It's open source. Open a track ticket. Have you done it yourself? Where's your commits? That's what they are. They're NPCs, okay? Let me just ask a very blatant question. Should you be able to order content in a content management system? Is this some novel idea? The other thing they tried to tell me, that's a very specific purpose. I don't think anybody else needs to do that. Nobody needs to do. Only you need to do that. What? What's wrong with you? This is why the software is broken, because 25% of the people that work on it just sit around making excuses all day. It's terrible. You want to know what's even worse than this? Watch this. Let's say you do want to use date to order these. The minute you try to sort by date, watch what happens. Watch this. This is amazing. Okay? I'm going to sort. You lose the hierarchy. You're gone. You don't know what post belongs to what other post. So you can't sort child posts by date. You can only sort all posts by date. And when you sort all posts by date, you lose the hierarchy. And now, by the way, in order to order them by date, I have to manipulate the publish date. So the publish date is not actually accurate information anymore. It's just manipulated for the purposes of ordering things. This is all absurd. So what has to happen is I have to install a plugin. This was the other 50% of people. Well, you just install a plugin. You just install the post order plugin. Install the admin columns plugin. That's fine for me, okay? All right? Marsha, that's fine for me. I'm trying to share this with an untold amount of other people. I'm trying to democratize this product, okay, to other people. And because your shitty CMS won't let anybody order anything, I can't do that without also informing them. Either you got to use the hidden order field, which then doesn't allow you to actually order things, or you have to install more plugins to make this thing work. And my point was just, this is what a CMS should do by default, natively. And they want to fucking argue with me about it. Oh no, Kevin, that really shouldn't be native in the CMS. Nobody wants to do that, but you stop it. Stop it. Stop. This software is never going to get to where it needs to be until all of these NPC sycophants just shut up. That's why I'm done with them. I'm done with them. I just start, nope, stop. I'm not even going to argue with you about it. This is a done deal. It should work this way. Done deal. I don't want to hear anything else about it. Okay? That's how you got to start treating them, because they're NPCs. They don't know how to say anything other than those 3 lines, so don't even bother with them. Just the adults are here now. The adults will handle this, okay? Because that's how they want to act like little children. I'm over it. WordPress needs real talk from real users, because half these people don't even fucking use WordPress the way that they're supposed to use it, or for anything of consequence, okay? It's done. You have to start just, nope, sorry, the adults are here. I'm not going to talk to you. I'm going to go talk to, somebody that can get something done around here. Because I mean, this is madness. This is madness. I want to give people stuff for free, and I can't because you can't manage content in the content management system. It's ridiculous. And I wouldn't be upset if they would just acknowledge it and just be like, Kevin, you're totally right. A CMS should be able to do this. I don't know why it hasn't been done yet. It's an open source project. You would even tell me it's an open source project. This stuff is hard to manage sometimes. And I just, but you are right. It should do this. I'm upset because they try to tell me that I'm wrong. That nobody needs that. Don't tell me that shit. I'm a software developer. I know what people need and don't need. I do this work day in and day out. I build sites of consequence. I do things of value. Don't tell me what this needs to do and doesn't need to do. I'll be the person who determines that. This is basic stuff. Basic stuff. I'm not asking for something special. I'm asking for basic content management features that any competent content management system should have. Okay? And they're going to be like, no, you're wrong. Or do it yourself. You're wrong. Do it yourself. Like, stop. Okay? All right. Anyway. Woosah. Let's bring it down a notch. This is almost done. I'm wrapping it up. Okay? I'm gonna go through and reread, re-edit everything, clean everything up, make it finalized. Okay? Now, the good thing about this, you can easily edit it yourself. You can easily just open up. If you're, Kevin's opinion's a little strong there. I don't know. That's not the way I do things. Okay. You can edit yourself. What I will say is, make sure these are no indexed. Okay. Don't index these. We don't need 80 copies of this, floating around Google. So it's designed to be no indexed. It's designed to be gated behind an email opt-in because you want to use it to get the lead, right? So that's the purpose of how you're going to set this up. And then, of course, you can make as many guides as you want to and put those behind email opt-ins as well. You could publish some publicly if it is proprietary work for you, okay? You could do that. You could make those indexable while keeping this one no index. This one is designed to be no index, okay? So do that. Put it behind a gate. Get the emails. And then when you get on the phone with somebody, they're going to be totally primed for you. They are going to be wanting to do work with you. And by the way, you could drip this right? So they sign up for it, you give them access to it, but every one of these chapters can just be a dripped email. So now you're ensuring that they are actually receiving this content. That's what's great. You can't drip a PDF, okay? This is fantastic. So, all right, let's see. How come I find the rant machine emotionally draining? I don't know. I find this side of WordPress emotionally draining. So the thing is you can just leave the stream. I can't leave this fucking nightmare that I'm trapped in. So this is my therapy session. This is I'm just going to talk about it. Yeah, and if you don't want to be, that's fine. I mean, you could just leave. Let's see. I can't count all the times that I had to use a third-party plugin to allow clients order posts. What a disaster. Will this be fixed in Etch? Yeah, of course it'll be fixed in Etch. Yes. All right, we are 2 minutes over time. Like I said, I'm being disciplined. I'm disciplining myself to stay on the 90-minute mark. If you're in the inner circle, you're going to get this 100% free. You're going to get everything that you've seen. And then if there's any improvements we can make, we'll continue to make those improvements. Maybe I'll offer it outside of the inner circle, but this was designed really for people in the inner circle, mainly because they're also going through all the sales trainings that align with all this stuff. They're doing other trainings that align with the development side of the stuff that we're talking about, the management and marketing side of the stuff that we're talking. They're in alignment with the content in this guide, which is why it's designed for them. But like I would say, if you want the guide and you believe in what the guide is saying, you should come into the inner circle and do the trainings that are aligned with the guide, right? So that you can actually make sure you're delivering what the guide says you are going to deliver as an agency. That kind of makes the most sense, right? But yeah, this will be available very, very, very soon. We are out for today. Thank you guys for being here. And I will see you in 2 weeks, the Tuesday after next. We'll be right back here, same time, same place, same drama. All right, I'm out. Peace.